Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. One of the nice things about buying knives nowadays, not just the fact that you can buy pretty much whatever you want as long as it's legal in your jurisdiction online, but if the knife you buy doesn't have a sheath that meets your standards, you can get an aftermarket kydex sheath for it. Now, it's going to be easier with more popular models, such as an SC4 or an SC6, because you're going to have a lot of options when it comes to aftermarket kydex sheath makers. When it comes to something like this, a modern day Schrade old-timer boot knife, yeah, your options become limited. Now, I will say this leather sheath that comes with the knife is absolutely functional. The snap works. You got long slots for your belt. It's genuine leather, but yeah, not exactly high quality leather. This is extremely stiff. It's not high quality leather at all, but it is functional. However, this is a boot knife that comes with a sheath designed specifically for going on your belt. Yeah, I don't get it either, but okay. This is the sheath you get with the modern day Schrade old-timer boot knife. Again, functional. That's about it. So when you get a sheath like this and you want a nice kydex replacement, the absolute best way to go about it, find the kydex sheath maker online, contact him, and arrange to have your knife shipped to him so that he can mold the kydex sheath around your specific knife. Now, it doesn't matter if the kydex sheath maker happens to have a stock version of your exact model. Doesn't matter if he owns one. You really want to take your knife and ship it to him and have him specifically mold the kydex sheath around your specific knife. Because even if we're talking about a production knife like this one, there's always going to be a bit of variation. So yours is not going to be 100% an exact copy of his production knife, same knife. But some people don't want to do that. So second best option, track down a kydex sheath maker who offers kydex sheaths for your specific model of production knife. In this case, Schrade old-timer boot knife. Have him make the kydex sheath using his knife and ship it to you. So what happens when you do that? Well, here's what I received. And when I got this, now I will say this, I don't consider this to be a sheath. I consider this to be a kydex cover because there is absolutely no attachment point whatsoever that goes on a belt or clipped to the top of a boot. None. And if we were talking about a much smaller fixed blade model, okay, you could put a chain or a length of cord through these two holes and it becomes a neck sheath. But you still need the chain or the cordage. On something bigger, there's no attachment point. As far as I'm concerned, this is just a kydex cover. Came without an attachment point, but I knew what I was getting. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to call this a sheath. And I do have an idea for mounting a nice clip onto here and making it into an actual full-blown functional kydex sheath instead of just a kydex cover. The Schrade old-timer boot knife, well, I'm not going to review it in this video. It's single-edged, symmetrical, no guards. And when I got this sheath a short while back, oh yeah, absolutely, the fit was rather tight. And this knife, once I got it in, absolutely refused to come out. So, with a leather aftermarket sheath, you've got a couple of options. One, wet molding. Well, you can't do that with kydex. Two, with a leather sheath, here's something I found. If you take the knife, put it into the leather sheath, and then leave it alone for about a week, not even joking, leave it alone for a week. When you come back and try to pull the knife out, the vacuum effect will be gone because the softer leather will have molded around the knife. Again, that's not happening with kydex. This is solid. So what do? I'm going to show you guys what I do. First of all, this was a nightmare to pull out the very first time I got it in. And we all know what happens, don't we, guys? You grab it, and then you pull, and you pull, and you pull. And what happens? This comes flying out. You try to prevent it from flying out of your hand, and invariably, with the momentum, oops, end up stabbing yourself in your other hand. Yeah, not good, not good. So when this thing got absolutely stuck, because apparently I used a kydex sheath maker who just made the sheath and mailed it to me without doing anything else, I realized, okay, I need to use a method I've used numerous times before. I will say this, if you use this method, I am not responsible if you don't know your own strength and you end up cracking or even breaking your aftermarket kydex sheath. This is a technique I use. It works well for me. You might decide to use it as well. If you do, and you accidentally crack or break your kydex sheath, I am not responsible. So when this thing got stuck, what did I do? Well, take one finger, put it here, take the other one, put it on the opposite side, and pull, and pull. Pull with both fingers in opposing directions. Once I was able to do that, I was able to apply just a bit of force and get the knife out. This left me with the kydex sheath. And with the kydex sheath and the now bigger opening, you do the same thing again. And this time I applied quite a bit more force. Yep. Spread the two halves open. Now, obviously, this is not going to work with a taco-style kydex sheath. This works with pancake-style kydex sheaths. The nice thing with a taco style is that you can incorporate a thumb release into the kydex, which makes removing the knife a lot easier. Pancake style, And unfortunately, pancake style was the only one I could find online for my Schrade old-timer boot knife. That's why I bought the pancake style. So again, one finger here, another one here, and pull, pull. You pull these two halves apart, stretch them out. Again, it helps if you know your own strength. You don't want to go too hard, but yeah, pull, pull, pull. Now you have to do this several times, or more precisely, numerous times. You can't just give this 2 quick pulls and, oh yeah, my knife slips in easier and it slips out easier. No, no. Numerous times. Pull, pull, pull. Spread those two halves open. Spread them open. And then when they go back together and you've got your knife, it inserts a little bit easier, but check this out. It pulls out a whole hell of a lot easier. Seriously, what you guys just saw was a couple of days, numerous times, stretching these two plates open. And as you can see, it's not cracked, it's not broken, it's not damaged. This is a technique that really works well for me. But again, you do risk possibly cracking or even breaking your kydex sheath. But when some guy sends you a ridiculously tight kydex sheath, you put your knife in it and it refuses to come out, and you have to do a dangerous technique of yanking on it. No, no. If a knife is stuck in a sheath, leave it alone. If it's leather, no problem. Leave it alone for a week. Let the leather mold around the knife, and then it comes out very easy. Or if you're impatient, wet molding. With kydex, if you have the option, I would go for a taco or fold-over style kydex sheath with a thumb release built into it. If you're stuck with something like this, a pancake style kydex sheath, the technique I showed you works. And quite frankly, I personally would rather take a chance on breaking or cracking my brand new aftermarket kydex sheath than having a kydex sheath that is worthless to me because it retains the knife too tightly and refuses to let you pull it out without a dangerous amount of force being used. So if I do end up cracking or breaking it, I personally don't care. You guys probably do, which is why, again, use this technique at your own risk. I'm not responsible if you damage your aftermarket, possibly very expensive kydex sheath. This one wasn't too bad, but yeah, I am not happy with the guy who delivered this to me, so I'm not going to be mentioning his name on my channel. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's the technique I use for breaking in a kydex sheath. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you soon. Please take care. Please stay safe out there.